Welcome viewers. Today I'll be talking about the ecology and economic importance of bryophytes. Bryophytes, known for its simple body organization, are a group of primitive plants with simplest body structure starting from a simple thallus seen in liverworts, and they generally have a dominant gametophytic structure. They occupy a taxonomic position between the thallophytes and pteridophytes. They are popularly referred to as the amphibians of the plant kingdom. So today we will be discussing about the importance of bryophytes and how they occupy an important position in our day-to-day lives. So let us start with the ecology. The ecology of bryophytes, they are spread worldwide. That is, they can occur in every kind of climate and they can be found in every type of substratum. So they are popularly found on tree trunks, growing on the tree trunks, in the forest, in damp areas as well as in the damp rocks, aquatic conditions, low temperatures such as in regions of Arctic and Antarctic regions, and so on. So they occupy an important place in the plant kingdom. The bryophytes can be classified into different types of classes, starting with the liverworts with the simple thallus organization, moving towards the hornwort, and then to the mosses with a differentiated gametophytic structure. Now let's come to the economic importance of bryophytes. The economic importance of bryophytes are multifaceted. They have wide variety of applications such as in medicinal field as antibiotics, or many antibiotics are isolated from them, antimicrobial compounds are present in them, anti-carcinogenic compounds are present in bryophytes, as well as they also serve as indicators of pollution, the pollution being in soil or in air, as well as they have many other roles to play. So we will be discussing all the importance of bryophytes in various fields one by one. So let us move forward. First, how the bryophytes have been used as medicinal food. So it was in the what, 1891, he reported to the medicinal use of a liverwort, Mercantia polymorpha, and few species of Jungermannia, Anthoceros and Riccia. Beside this, the various mosses as bryum were crushed and applied as poultice. In several parts of the world, burnt ash of mosses were mixed with honey and fat to be used as ointment for cuts and wounds. As I have already said, Mercantia polymorpha and Mercantia palmate are used as medicine or for boils by Himalayan Indians. Traditional medicines are made in China from bryophytes to deal with various kinds of illness such as tonsillitis, tymphanitis, bronchitis, cystitis, cardiovascular diseases, and so on. Now moving forward, it is also used for the treatment of the skin. It helps to cure ringworms. Ash of moss is mixed with honey and fat, as I have already told you, to treat cuts, burns and wounds. Used for curing for all layering arises from insects' bites. So on. Now further on, an interesting thing is the extracts of M. polymorpha, M. stellata and polytrichum, they possess also anti-tumor activities. The dried sphagnum, another kind of a popular moss, is boiled in water. Decoction is used in the treatment of hemorrhage and eye diseases. The tea of polytrichum helps to dissolve stones of kidney and gallbladder. So it has been found that the bryophytes are not only the source of antibiotics, these are also source of anti-carcinogenic compounds as well. Now regard to or with respect to antimicrobial properties, antimicrobial activity of extracts of Borrelia, Rebaulia has been confirmed. Even there is another species which has been made transgenic, that is Psychomitrella. So, a transgenic psychomitrilla has been constructed which has been used to produce blood clotting factor 9 for the treatment of hemophilia and other blood clotting proteins or diseases. Let us discuss more about the antimicrobial properties of bryophytes. So, the bryophytes, it was reported by Hayes in 1947 that a particular species of bryophytes known as Conocephalum conicum is antibiotically active. Conocephalus conicum and Dumurtiera hirsute is active against Candida albicans, one of the common fungus which is known to cause severe disease in humans. Now, besides this, it has also been found that sphagnum, one of the common moss, is also a rich source of antibiotics. Antimicrobial activity of extracts of Borrelia, Rebaulia have been confirmed. Further on, Dicranium scoporarium has been possessed to inhibit strong antimicrobial activities against most pathogens except Escherichia coli. Species of Barbula and Timela show high occurrence of antimicrobial activity. Now, besides antimicrobial activity, bryophytes are also known to possess antiviral activity as well. So, it was first reported that the bryophytes possess antiviral activity against herpes simplex virus type 1 and type 2. Extracts of sphagnum and Camptothecum possess antiviral activity because they have humic acids that can inhibit the growth of poliovirus. Let's discuss about the anti-cancerous nature of bryophytes. The anti-cancerous nature of bryophytes, the famous one is Polytrichum juniperinaeum, has anti-cancer activity against sarcoma 37 in mice as studied by Belkin et al. 1952. Diplophilum albicans and Diplophilum taxifolium possess anticancerous activity due to the presence of secondary metabolite diplophilin. It shows activity against epidermal carcinoma. Moving further on, there is another species or various other species of bryophytes reported to have anticancerous activity. The presence of anticancerous activity is due to the presence of secondary metabolites like sesquiterulipinolite shows effective activity against carcinoma of vasopharynx isolated from Conocephalum species. It was first that the different species of about 200 species of bryophytes were tested by the US National Cancer Institute, and they found that amongst this 200, 43 species showed strong anticancerous activity belonging to different types of families. The anti-leukemic activity of Mercantia A from Mercantia polymorpha and Ricardin from Ricardia multifida has already been reported by Asakawa et al. In year 1982. So, Mercantia is not only a source of antimicrobial compounds, it is also a source of anti-cancerous compound, and a lot of research work is being done in this field. Now, let's discuss about the role of bryophytes as food. So, bryophytes, not only they are the source of lead compounds of medicinal property to be used for different therapeutic purposes, they can also be used as foods by the different organisms. So, bryophytes are not directly consumed as human food though, but there are species of Bryum and Polytrichum which constitute the chief diet of some kinds of chicks. So, these play an important role in the form of food. In some European countries, sphagnum contributes to the flavor of Scotch whisky. Komani Indians, they use bryophytes like hypnon, entodon, etc. wrapped in a cone of rhododendron campanulatum leaves to serve as a filter for smoking tobacco. Some aphids depend on mosses as food for their larvae. So, bryophytes is also used as food source for animals. Alaskan reindeer occasionally graze on bryophytes, and there are other species of bryophytes which are used as food. Due to scarcity of fresh foods, bryophytes can be the source of specific needs of some animals, like for example, Barbella pendula has a high content of vitamin B12 not available in vegetarian diets. So, moving further on, bryophytes and its very important role as fuel. So bryophytes leads to the development of peat. What is peat? Peat is a brown, dark color spongy matter produced due to compression and carbonization by deposits and water. Who contributes to the formation of peat? It is basically sphagnum and other mosses, they form the peat. Application, it is used in agriculture, making ethyl alcohol, illuminating gas, and it is now considered as an alternative source of fuel in the forthcoming years. So, the formation of the pit by moss plays an important role in the modern century. If you look into the statistics of the world, so it has been found that the liverworts and mosses have long been tried and used as a fuel in developed countries like Finland, Sweden, Ireland, West Germany, etc. So it is not only that mosses they form or contribute to the formation of pit, they can also be used as a fuel by the temperate countries. So these products like the low and intermediate BTU gas, ethylene, hydrogen, methanol and natural gas are produced from peat. Methane is produced on a large scale from pit mosses. So the heating value, if you consider in comparison to wood, is much more superior. So it is estimated that early half the world's annual peat production is used for fuel with peat resources estimated to be around 100 to 200 million tons of oils worldwide. So peat is considered as a clean burning fuel which has received much attention now as an alternative fuel source. Peat mosses are now best suited for the production of methane, and peat is likely to become an important source of fuel for production of heat, methane or electricity in the future. Now peat has rapid regeneration, can be easily harvested, has low sulfur content and its heating value is superior to that of wood. So in every respect, it is much superior to that of wood and can be used as a eco-friendly fuel. Now, how the sphagnum is used in the generation of peat? So sphagnum is an important bryophyte which forms peat. Hence, it is also known as peat moss. Accumulation of sphagnum stores water, since both living and dead plants can hold large quantities of water inside their cells. So bryophytes can accumulate large quantities of water. The physical structure of peat is highly absorbent and permeable, and it has been shown to absorb metals, and therefore sphagnum is used as an effective filtering and absorbent agent. So here we come towards the application of peat. So peat finds its application in the form of a filtering agent because it can absorb minerals. The peat finds its application in the treatment of wastewater, effluent of factories with acid and toxic discharge containing heavy metals, organic substances such as oils, detergents, dyes and microorganisms. So application of peat moss in this respect is very economical for developing countries like India. It involves usage of wastewater with peat, drying the peat by mechanical pressure, further burning the peat and reclaiming the metals. Peat can be used as an effective adsorbent agent for oil spills. Now, besides its application as a filtering agent, peat also finds its application in the horticulture. Long tradition use of bryophytes as soil additives because of their water holding capacity and to air. Peat is an important conditioner used for agricultural and horticultural purposes around the world. So it is not only that it is used as a filtering agent, it also finds its application as a fuel, it also finds its application as an horticultural agent. So why sphagnum? The sphagnum because the active carbon is an important absorbent agent substance in many chemical industries and can be produced from peat. So it can be used in the control of pollution and in the help in the bioremediation. So these products are used for the treatment of oil spills, mangroves and wetlands. Now besides the sphagnum being used in the form of peat, so it can also be used for the different kinds of construction purposes. So let's come to the commercial use of the sphagnum, popularly referred to as the moss industry. Moss Industries in France. So they manufacture moss carpets in various sizes. They are easy to fix along the roads, lawns, playgrounds. In Sri Lanka also, a wide range of eco-friendly products as coir pots, coir fiber pith, moss sticks, hanging wire baskets, basket liners are made from bryophytes. So bryophytes finds application in every field. Let's move to sphagnum and its commercial use. So sphagnum is an excellent material for the shipment of plants and fresh materials, flowers, for hydrophobic gardening, for storage of roots and bulbs. It is also used in the manufacture of insulator sheets for houses. In France, manufacture carpets in various sizes, and as I have already told you, in Sri Lanka, they are used to prepare eco-friendly products such as the coir pots, coir fiber pits, moss sticks, hanging wire baskets, basket liners. So these are made from bryophytes including sphagnum. Now let's come to another important economical as well as we can say the ecological applications of bryophytes. So bryophytes, they play a very important ecological role. In which area? They help us or they help to detect pollution. So often bryophytes are used as bioindicators of pollution. Besides pollution, they also help to control soil erosion. So let's come to the role of bryophytes as bioindicators for soil, air and even water pollution. So the bryophytes are of definite ecological use. They can serve as of particular utility as indicators of environmental conditions and pollution. From the point of view of indicators, there are two types of bryophytes. The first are extremely sensitive to pollution and hence they are used as bioindicators. They produce morphological symptoms of injury even in the presence of very little quantities of pollution. They serve as good bioindicators. The second type of bryophytes has the capacity to absorb and retain pollutants. So the bryophytes has been used as indicators of several minerals was established in the middle of 20th century, and it was R. Brooks 1972 who suggested bryophytes as guides to mineralization. Copper mosses, the best example of copper moss is Scopolepophalia, which grows almost exclusively in areas which are rich in copper, particularly in copper sulfate. So there are other mosses like liverworts and mosses are also good indicators of soil pH. So some bryophytes, they can grow in narrow and specific range of pH, so therefore their presence can be used as an indicator of soil pH. Now further on, there are other examples of bryophytes which are also used as indicators of environmental conditions and pollution. The first one is Ceratodon purpureus, indicates good drainage and high amounts of nitrogen. The second one, Plurazium and Pogonatum alpinium. So these are indicators of less nitrogen. Funaria hygrometrica, one of the most common moss which are found in areas, indicates good base saturation. Further on, if we move forward, so this is absorption of rain and atmospheric water by bryophytes, makes some of them as pH indicators. For example, Polytrichum is a good acid indicator. Now the bryophytes, besides being used as bioindicators, they are also used to control soil erosion. So how do they control soil erosion? They possess a nated and a webbed protonema covering the exposed substrata. Many mosses as Hypnum imponens provides excellent seeding beds for a variety of coniferous trees. It is likely to do the role of bryophytes in providing moisture, appropriate temperature and also organic matter and minerals after the death of bryophytes. Thus, they help in the maintenance and replenishment of forest cover. So pollution, so they occur in many forms from both urban and rural areas. Sulfur dioxide, which has been a significant industrial pollutant for many years, being a byproduct of the use of high sulfur fuels. sulfur dioxide is very damaging. It is found that some bryophytes are highly tolerant of sulfur dioxide pollution. Example, Funaria hygrometrica. So, the bryophytes, why they can serve as the bioindicators. The structure of bryophytes, if you look at, it has got a simple thallus organization. The epidermis is only one layer thick, and so they are able to absorb the nutrients from the atmosphere. So, these nutrients, when accumulated inside the gametophytic structure, they cause morphological changes if these are pollutants. So, hence they can be used as a good source of bioindicators to detect the types of pollution present in the environment. So, this goes about the role of bryophytes as bioindicators of pollution in soil or in water or even in air. So, we talked about the soil pollution. Now, besides, we also talked about that the bryophytes, they also help to control the soil erosion. So, the bryophytes, they form a mat, prevent soil erosion. They intertwine moss, stems and rhizoids, bind soil particle firmly, holds large amount of water and reduces the run of water. So, let us come to another important application of bryophytes, that is in nutrient recycling. So, bryophytes play an important role in nutrient recycling. So, the minerals which are supplied by rain, by the leaching of the canopy and by through fall, so these are trapped by bryophytes. Thus, they play an important role in retaining minerals and they accumulate potassium, calcium and magnesium from the rainfall. Even nitrogen is provided by bryophytes and liverworts provide suitable substrates for the biological fixation of nitrogen in association with cyanobacteria. So, they serve as source of nitrogen in the Arctic and subarctic ecosystems. Let's move to another important application, that is, they are also used as an indicator of acid rain. So, mosses, they are good indicators of acid rain. So, because they lack a protective epidermis and cuticle and hence they are more susceptible than the vascular plants. For example, Neckera indicates high pH as like of acid rain. So, this goes about the acid rain application. Besides these different applications, there is also report of bryophytes being used as horticultural or for horticultural purposes. So, bryophytes have been used in horticulture as soil additives, ground cover, dwarf plants, greenhouse crops, potted ornamental plants and for seeding beds. Besides its common use in making poles to support climbing plants, sphagnum is also used for decorative horticultural properties, including making baskets, covering flower pots and containers for floral arrangements. Now, let us come to the household use of bryophytes. So, the bryophytes, these are also used for house construction. So, these tiny plants are used in the construction of houses and their furnishings. At Kapkot in the Himalayas, villagers use moss mats with shrubs, grasses, bamboos to make a farki, a kind of door placed at the openings of their temporary huts. Sphagnum peat, peatcrete and peat wood are the new materials which are being used to make houses as they are of low cost and easy to transport. The household use of bryophytes, especially mosses, so these are used again for decorative purposes in many countries, so for ornamental presentations including Finland, England, France, Japan, USA. Sphagnum, due to its absorbent and insulating properties, it is the most household moss. Mats prepared from bryophytes are sold in many parts of India. Beddings, mattresses, cushions and pillows are prepared by stuffing moss in many parts of India. In some parts of Himalayas, mosses are used as insecticides and insect repellents while storing grains. A cheap kind of cloth is prepared by mixing sphagnum with wool in Germany. Several bryophytes are used in packing of apples, plums and other fruits in India. So, this goes for the ornamental use of bryophytes. Now let's come to the fiber industry. So the industries, the fiber industry, they also use bryophytes. Mosses are mixed with wool to make cheap clothes. They are used in decoration of net bags, used in hiking boards to absorb odor and moisture, used in lining of diapers to improve absorbent power. Let us now conclude then. So we learned from this session or from this topic the economic importance of bryophytes. The importance of bryophytes is regaining its weight with the new research going on in this field. So it has been found that bryophytes is the source of lead compounds for different antimicrobial properties, for its anti-cancerous properties, for its antiviral properties. Now, besides its use in pharmaceutical industries, it is also used as an alternative fuel for the future days or for the future generation. Sphagnum, one of the common moss, can lead to the formation of peat, which can be used or find its application in horticulture as an alternative fuel source, as well as it is also used for the filtration as a biofilter. So, it finds its application in the wastewater treatment plants. Besides this, the bryophytes are the very good indicators or bioindicators of pollution. Even they can be used to detect the acid rain, prevent soil erosion, as well as they help in the recycling of the nutrients present in the soil. Besides all these wonderful applications, the bryophytes also have economical uses as they are being used for the fiber industries, they are used in the household constructions, as well as they are used for the ornamental purposes in the various temperate countries. So hopefully this session will help you to understand the economical importance of bryophytes. Thank you.